Namaskar, welcome to Whitetail. Here we will explore an idea which supports no one is illegal on stolen land. How did invaders become natives and natives become outsiders?
In the heart of the ongoing debate surrounding immigration and citizenship, a fundamental truth emerges: no one is illegal on stolen land. This assertion forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality that today's citizens are often the descendants of invaders, while the original inhabitants, who held deep connection to the land, have been labeled as illegal. Before borders and immigration laws existed, this land was alive with vibrant communities. Diverse cultures thrived, each with its own languages, legal systems, and customs. Land was not merely a resource to be owned. It was a living entity, intimately bound to the people who resided upon it. The arrival of invaders marked a dark turning point. This was not a simple act of migration that sought permission, but rather an invasion that took control, disregarding the rights of those who had lived there for generations. Historically, colonization unfolded through a familiar and brutal pattern. Invaders arrived wielding weapons, declaring the land discovered. With this false proclamation, they forcibly displaced the native populations, rewriting history to suit their narrative and creating artificial borders. The original inhabitants, the very essence of the land, were stripped of their identities and labeled as outsiders. Across continents, from the indigenous peoples of the United States to Aboriginal communities in Australia, the tragedy of displacement continues to echo, reminding us that it was never the natives who were illegal. They were simply pushed aside. Ironically, the term illegal immigrant is often applied to new migrants today, while the descendants of colonizers enjoy the privileges of citizenship. This stark contradiction highlights a deeper injustice. How can individuals be deemed illegal on land that was taken by force? The borders that exist today were drawn after conquests, laws were established in the shadows of occupation. In this landscape, legality is not synonymous with justice, but instead follows the current of power. This narrative, branding people as illegal, serves a specific purpose in modern society. It serves to divide the working class, shield the grim history of colonization from public scrutiny, and shift the blame for systemic issues from institutions to individuals. By erasing history, allowing cruelty to become policy, we continue to perpetuate cycles of injustice, where the powerful write their own moral codes while marginalizing those they displace. Understanding these truths is the first step toward rebuilding a more equitable future for all. In a world where boundaries have been etched by history's hand, the term illegal emerges as a weapon wielded against those who seek solace and security. It conjures images of desperation and fear, neglecting the shared humanity that connects us all. We frown upon those who cross these invisible lines, branding them as outsiders. Yet, it is essential to pause and consider the deeper narrative that unfolds before us, one that emphasizes humanity over legality. Borders, drawn with a ruler or shaped by blood and conflict, create divisions that sever the ties of kinship and community. Every line on a map tells a story, but many of these tales echo with suffering and displacement. The desperate faces of refugees seeking a haven are sidelined amidst accusations of trespassing. Instead of seeing them as threats, we should recognize their struggle and resilience, inviting them into a narrative that speaks of belonging and mutual support, not alienation. The irony lies in understanding that our lands, often considered sacred or rightful, are frequently birthed from a history of conquest and theft. Stolen lands do not bestow moral authority, they serve as a constant reminder of injustices that continue to echo through generations. Hence, the real inquiry shifts from who crossed the borders to who determined those boundaries in the first place and at what expense. We must grapple with the implications of historical injustices, not only in terms of physical land, but also the emotional and psychological scars left behind. As we navigate these complex themes, we arrive at an undeniable truth: no one, regardless of their journey, is illegal on stolen land. This statement, heavy with meaning, invites us to reflect on our collective conscience. It urges us to challenge the status quo and redefine what it means to belong. Each step taken by a refugee encapsulates a quest for dignity, hope, and renewal, while each boundary celebrated must be scrutinized for the price it exacted, a price that often weighs on the backs of the marginalized and the vulnerable. Ending upon this realization, we are called to foster understanding, empathy, and a vision of a world where all beings coexist without labels of legality or illegitimacy.